Ford spent millions replacing their best engineers with AI. The result? 152 recalls in a single year, nearly double any record in automotive history. Quality collapsed. The machines failed. Ford was so desperate, they called fired workers and begged them to come back. This is what happens when a billion-dollar company bets everything on AI and loses. The bet that changed everything. Picture this. It's the early 2020s. Wall Street is losing its mind over artificial intelligence. Every boardroom in America is asking the same question. How do we cut costs and ride this AI wave before our competitors do? Ford, one of the most iconic names in automotive history, thought they had the answer. The plan was bold. Replace expensive, experienced human engineers with AI-powered systems. Feed the machines your design requirements, let them scan the factory floor, and watch the savings roll in. Clean, efficient, cheap. What could go wrong? Ford didn't just dip a toe in. They cannonballed into the deep end. They deployed 900 AI-powered cameras across their manufacturing plants. These cameras were supposed to detect quality issues at the source, catching defects before they became expensive, embarrassing problems. The company rolled out AI across its entire industrial system. Engineering, supply chain, manufacturing, all of it. Ford's chief operating officer Kumar Galhotra stood on an earnings call in October and told investors the firm was, quote, deploying AI across the entire industrial system. And Ford's own CEO Jim Farley? He sat down with author Walter Isaacson and said, and I want you to really hear this,
AI will leave a lot of white-collar people behind.
AI will leave a lot of white-collar people behind. He was talking about his own engineers, the people who had spent decades building Ford's reputation for quality. And just like that, hundreds of them were shown the door. The machines were in charge now. What could possibly go wrong?
This is fine.
The cracks start showing. At first, nobody was sounding the alarm publicly. Ford was riding the AI hype train just like everyone else. The cameras were rolling, the algorithms were running, the executives were happy. But on the factory floor, something was very, very wrong. Quality was slipping, and not in small, barely noticeable ways. We're talking about the kind of quality issues that end up in headlines, the kind that trigger investigations, the kind that make customers ask,
what the fuck is going on here?
Here's the thing about AI-powered quality control that Ford's executives apparently didn't fully grasp. AI has no gut instinct. None. Zero. A veteran engineer with 20 years on the factory floor can walk past a component, glance at it for 2 seconds, and feel that something is off. They can't always explain it immediately. It's pattern recognition built from thousands of hours of real-world experience. It's intuition forged from watching what happens when things go wrong. An AI camera. It looks at what it was trained to look for. Nothing more, nothing less. And here's where Ford made a catastrophic mistake. When they let those experienced engineers go, they didn't capture their knowledge first. They didn't sit those veterans down and say, tell us everything you know. Walk us through every edge case, every weird anomaly, every gut check moment you've had in 20 years. They just let them walk out the door, taking decades of irreplaceable institutional knowledge with them. Charles Poon, Ford's vice president of vehicle hardware engineering, later admitted it plainly. Over prior years, we didn't pay as much attention as we should have to the experience of our most knowledgeable engineers that have been with us through many product cycles. That's corporate speak for. We made a massive mistake, and we knew it. The numbers don't lie. Let's talk about the hard data, because this is where it gets really uncomfortable for Ford. Just 3 years ago, 2022, Ford ranked 15th out of 25 major automakers in the J.D. Power Initial Quality Study. 15th out of 25. That's not a company at the top of its game. That's a company in free fall. And the recalls? Buckle up. In 2025, Ford issued 152 recalls. 152. To put that in perspective, that's nearly double General Motors' previous record of 77 recalls set back in 2014. Let that sink in. Ford didn't just break the record, they shattered it. So far in 2026, Ford has already issued 51 recalls compared to Chrysler's 19 in the same period. Now Ford will tell you, and they have, that many of these recalls relate to vehicles designed between 2013 and 2020, calling them a lagging indicator of older engineering decisions. And that's partially true, but here's what they're not saying loudly enough. The AI-driven quality control that was supposed to catch these problems before they reached customers. It didn't. It couldn't. Those 900 cameras were scanning for what they were trained to find, and they were trained without the input of Ford's most experienced people. So they missed things. Lots of things. Think about that the next time you see a recall notice in your mailbox. What AI actually can't do. Here's where we need to have an honest conversation about AI, because this isn't an anti-technology story. AI is genuinely powerful, but there's a massive gap between what AI can do and what companies wish it could do. Ford's Charles Poon said it best. Artificial intelligence is a fantastic tool, but it's only as good as the information you use to train it. Read that again. It's only as good as the information you use to train it. Ford's AI systems were trained on design requirements and documented specifications, clean, structured data. But quality control on a real factory floor isn't just about checking boxes against a spec sheet. It's about understanding why something that technically meets spec might still fail in the real world. It's about knowing that a particular supplier has been running slightly inconsistent material batches. It's about recognizing that a vibration pattern you're seeing today is the early warning sign of a failure you saw 6 years ago on a different model. That knowledge doesn't live in a database. It lives in people. And this isn't just a Ford problem. Look at what's happening across the industry. General Motors is using AI to simulate wind tunnel testing, replacing physical tests with software models to save time and money. Volkswagen has announced AI integration across design, materials, and construction. The entire auto industry is racing to automate. But here's the uncomfortable question nobody in those boardrooms wants to ask. What happens when the simulation is wrong and you've already built 1 million cars? The answer, as Ford is learning, is 152 recalls in a single year. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. The Great Rehire. So Ford finally admitted what the factory floor had been screaming for years. They needed their people back. More than 300 veteran quality engineers have been rehired. These aren't fresh graduates. These are people with decades of experience. The so-called Graybeards that Bloomberg's headline actually had the nerve to mock. Yes, Bloomberg ran a headline calling them Graybeard engineers, like experience and wisdom are somehow embarrassing, like tenure is a punchline. Spoiler, it's not. These are the people who remember what Ford quality looked like when it was the best in the business. They remember the processes, the standards, the instincts that made Ford vehicles something to be proud of. And what happened when they came back? Quality went back up, almost immediately. Ford has now topped the 2026 J.D. Power Initial Quality Study as America's #1 mainstream automaker. That's the first time Ford has held that title since 2010. 16 years. Gone. And then reclaimed. Not by a new AI system, not by a software update, but by bringing experienced humans back into the building. The company says this quality reset involved more than just rehiring. They've more than doubled their technical specialists. They made design reviews mandatory. They created an industrial systems team that brings engineering, manufacturing, and supply chain together under one roof. The goal? Catch defects before they reach the factory floor, not scramble to fix them after they reach customers. It's everything they should have been doing all along. The dark twist nobody's talking about. Now here's where this story takes a turn that should make every one of those rehired engineers very nervous. Ford didn't bring these veterans back just to inspect vehicles. Read the official statements carefully. Charles Poon said, "We recognize that for us to enhance some of our automation and machine learning and artificial intelligence tools, we needed to ensure that they were trained by the most experienced individuals." Translation? The plan is to extract everything these engineers know, feed it into the AI systems, and build the machines that Ford originally wanted, the ones that actually work. Think about what that means. Ford fires the experts. AI fails without their knowledge. Ford rehires the experts. The experts train the AI. The AI gets smarter. And then what? This is the cycle that's playing out at companies all over the world. And the engineers walking back through Ford's doors right now. Some of them almost certainly know exactly what's coming. They're being used as a bridge, a very expensive, very temporary bridge between the AI that failed and the AI that Ford hopes will eventually replace them again. It's a brutal reality, and it's not unique to Ford. Ford isn't alone. The bigger picture. Ford's story is dramatic, but it's not an isolated incident. This is happening everywhere, and the pattern is almost identical every single time. Take Commonwealth Bank of Australia. Last year, they laid off more than 40 customer service staff and replaced them with an AI voice bot. The bot couldn't handle the complexity of real customer issues. Call volumes actually increased because customers kept calling back, frustrated that the AI couldn't help them. CBA reversed the cuts entirely. Their own finance sector union called it a massive win. CBA admitted publicly that they did not adequately consider all relevant business considerations, which is a very polished way of saying,
I have no idea what I'm doing, but I know I'm doing it really, really well.
Then there's IBM. They replaced human resources functions with AI that handled around 94% of routine requests. Sounds impressive, right? But that remaining 6%, those were the hard cases, the ethical dilemmas, the situations that required actual human judgment. IBM couldn't handle them with AI. So now IBM has announced plans to triple its U.S. entry-level hiring across all business units in 2026. IBM's Chief Human Resources Officer Nicole Lamoureux put it perfectly at a summit in New York. If we don't continue to invest in entry-level hires, what happens in 3 to 5 years? There's no pipeline. The well simply dries up. And the data backs all of this up. According to a report by OrgView, 39% of business leaders made employees redundant due to AI deployment. But among that group, 55% admit they made the wrong call on those redundancies, more than half. And according to Robert Half, 32% of U.S. hiring managers said they eliminated a role primarily due to AI, and later rehired for the same or a similar position. The pattern is clear. Companies rush to cut costs with AI. AI underperforms without human expertise. Companies scramble to rehire. Except now they've lost time, lost institutional knowledge, and in Ford's case, lost their quality reputation for years. What every company should learn from this. So what's the actual lesson here? Because this isn't a story about AI being bad. AI is a tool, a powerful one. The lesson is about how companies are deploying it and the dangerous shortcuts they're taking to get there. Intuition Labs put it bluntly in their Enterprise AI report. Budgeting on tech to replace humans without investing in training or upskilling left teams unprepared to leverage AI. Notably, among companies pushing automation, many later regretted layoffs, having cut the very people needed to oversee AI. The companies winning with AI right now are not the ones replacing humans wholesale. They're the ones building human-AI collaboration. They're using AI to handle the repetitive, high-volume, low-judgment tasks, and keeping experienced humans in the loop for everything that requires context, intuition, and accountability. Jessica Zhang, Senior Vice President at HR Solutions Provider ADP, said it clearly. Where AI outputs are inconsistent, inaccurate, or difficult to apply, companies often need to reintroduce human oversight. This can lead to duplicated effort, slower decision-making, and diminished productivity gains. In other words, if you cut the humans first and ask questions later, you don't save money. You just delay the cost and make it bigger. Ford learned this the hard way. 16 years without a top-quality ranking. 152 recalls in a single year. Hundreds of millions in warranty costs. All to save money on engineers who, it turns out, were worth every single penny. Capital Technology University summed it up perfectly. AI is changing the workplace, but it's becoming clear that organizations are finding more value in building human-AI collaboration versus replacing human work entirely. That's not a radical idea. That's just common sense. The kind of common sense that apparently costs billions of dollars to rediscover. Ford brought the humans back, quality shot to #1, and they're claiming the worst is behind them. Do you actually think Ford's quality will improve and those recall numbers will finally drop? Or is it too little, too late? Drop your answer in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the content, smash that like button and subscribe for more auto content. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.